Sai Bhutale Srimati BDDSwami Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharanjali Visesa Sanyavadi Paksachari Sachari Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakti Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna.
Yes, Maharaj. Is my screen visible, Maharaj?
Yes.
Okay, so I'll play the audio as well.
Meditation 13. Reflections at rest.
My dear Lord, today I heard that you put your devotees in distress because you want to make them glorious. When your devotee suffers, then later transcends, the accomplishment is much more appreciated. I have in the past considered you unfair, seeing the tribulations of your devotees. Although I have always been austere, I have not really understood anything about austerities. Now I am gradually appreciating how such tapasya positions one closer to an unconditional service platform. I am also appreciating that austerities and suffering can increase one's quality of service and understanding. Rama himself was, after all, encouraged to undergo austerities to bring about the creation. Lord Shiva is in a constant state of austere meditation on you. I reflect that in true love, suffering or any austerity performed for the lover is not taken as an inconvenience, nor an imposition. For one is eager to do whatever is necessary to enhance the welfare of the lover. As I lie here, waiting to sleep, my dear Lord Shyam, I am noticing how little love I have. If I possessed real love, I would be jumping at every opportunity to serve you, free of all envy and impersonalism. I know I am so far away from you, dear Lord, but in your pervasiveness, you are so near. Sometimes I become attracted to your different energies, momentarily forgetting that you are the source of all beauty and splendor. Is this distraction a sign of my lack of chastity? Dear Lord, as I drift off to sleep, I am praying to dream of you. Pushing my physical body aside with its enviousness and agitation, I shall search the three worlds, seeking your company and the company of your servants. I am praying that they will let me join them, and that perhaps I will wake up one day a soul fully surrendered to you. Why not? I am already millions of lifetimes behind. I will look for signs of your devotees, even though when they see me, they will laugh in embarrassment, thinking, what right does such a contaminated fool have to join this transcendental brigade? Where is Narada Muni? Let me find him. Perhaps if I am sufficiently fortunate, I can convince him to take me into the presence of your pure devotees. And why not? After all, he gave his mercy to Mugwari the hunter, who was less sinful than I. I have heard that you are so kind that you look at the intentions of your servants and elevate contaminated service to a transcendental level. You took Putana as a mother, and even though she came to poison you, you gave her liberation in exchange for a few drops of breast milk. Dear Lord, perhaps even a fool like me, having no understanding of selfless service, who is envious of you and full of fear and doubt, still has a chance. Please take my materially motivated submissions and extract what little love is there. I can appreciate that austerities and detachment are necessary to help one rise above the three modes, becoming steady and not identifying with happiness or distress or the other relativities of this world. I can become a true candidate for the spiritual world. In the past, dear Lord, bloated with greed, I have constantly missed the wonderful mercy that you constantly pour on all your creation. How could I settle for a multitude of temporary pleasures? Now, my dear Lord Cham, maybe tonight you will allow me your direct association. Habituated to avoiding you, tired of rendering service to my insatiable senses, only by your unlimited causeless grace will I get out of this rut. Just as you overlook the real intention of Putana, you are so kind that you can overlook my contaminated state. Maybe tonight will be the night. Off I go, searching, knowing that one day I will meet you, although I am fully unworthy.
All right, we are here facing the reality. So here, Gurudev he has presented a very sensitive point for our meditation. Ideally, today I heard that you put your devotees in distress because you want to make them glorious. When your devotee suffers, then later transcend, the accomplishment is much more appreciated. The Christian put his devotees into difficulties. We search the scripture and we see so many of these things. See the way the Pandavas suffer. See the way Kamsa enjoy, and the father and mother of the Supreme Personality of Godhead were living at the backyard of Kamsa. And Kamsa were living in the palace, enjoying himself while the devotees are suffering at his backyard. And Dhira were living in the palace, and the Pandavas were in the forest. Not only that, we also see that the Supreme Lord himself was living in the forest. But Ramachandra was in the forest for many years, 14 years, living in the forest. There is nothing so wonderful about the forest. Nothing so wonderful about the forest. There's nothing there except suffering. And we can't even imagine how. We can't even imagine because we don't see it. We are too gross. We don't feel it. So hey, Devahuti, personality like Devahuti, they have never seen what is hardship in her life. He has to go and live in the forest with the husband, who is just wearing clothes. The princess, she have never seen what is difficult in her life. Now she has to go and live in the forest with a man who has nothing. Okay. Not only that, she has to remove even the little bangle left in her hand. She has to remove it. At least one has a choice to say, I don't think I'm ready for this. For modern days, so we can't do this. I'm not ready for this. Papa, I'm not ready for this. This is too much. Even if it's karma, I don't want to take it. I can try to amend it. We have been working seriously in this much to change what is there according to our previous activities, what is there for us? We have been working seriously to change it. So one can say this is too much. Whenever living in the forest and undergoing terrible situations with hidimbi and all kinds of demons, cannibals, rakshasas, and here we see a ferocious eater, a voracious eater like him saying that there's nothing for him to eat in the forest. So, and many other people look at how it does. Look at the Vasudev. Just look at him. His body smells so much terrible bad odor on his body due to the wound, the sores all over his body, smelling as a devotee. So nobody likes to come close to him because who can remove the stench coming from his body. And many have that's a see. Many people like this, they have serious trouble to face being devotees. And recently we're seeing devotees being killed by demons. So one will think very twice. Should I become a devotee? So is it necessary for me to take this trouble? What is there for me about all these difficulties? What is there? What is there? Why should I take to this? I've seen many people who will never have any serious mental challenges or illness before. But as soon as they took to Krishna's consciousness, they had a lot of challenges. Sanatana Goswami was living in the palace, in paradise. But the moment he decided to follow Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, started facing a lot of assassination attempts. The hotel he lodged was going to be killed. He drank bad water in the way. Also, he got a disease like vascular vipra. So, and he suffered all this. So one will naturally think, what is all this? And there are many other devotees also follow. Dhira, he has a so terrible situation that he can't even afford to stitch his own daughter. What about the house, which is expensive, more expensive than the daughter? Nakula Brahmachari. Nakula Brahmachari. Very, very, very poor. And so we see all these devotees are very sick, and some are very, very, they have a terrible life. Need to get something to eat. It's really very difficult. Very difficult. So Jiva Goswami explained that devotees are put in this way because that is how Krishna glorified his devotees. Like when Krishna told the Kolavesta, Chaitanya was teaching him, my dear, see, you have been a devotee for all these years. What have you gained from being a devotee? Just look at your clothes. Look at your house. Can't you think twice? Look at it, the Durga worshipper. Don't look at the number of cars in his house. Look at all the facilities and look at the number of people that come to visit him. Who comes to you? And then here is Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. What is it? What is all this for me? Celebration that I love, they say, my dear Lord, but you come to me every day, but I've never seen you going to that Durga worshipper's house. You have never one day been there, but every day you come here to come and fight with me. So it's not something for me to celebrate. It's not something for me to enjoy, to rejoice that the Supreme Personality of God is coming to my house every day. I've never seen you go to that place. Now, I don't think you will ever go there. It's better for me to be in a situation like this so I can help you always. And then Hanuman himself, who was talking to Narayana Muni. The situation Krishna put the Pandavas through is to glorify the level of their tolerance. Krishna wants to advertise the level of their tolerance, how much they can tolerate How much faith they have in Krishna. And so about this, Dana Saraswati Thakur also said that the Krishna putting his devotees in different situations, they sickness, they have disease. He said all these things is to help us to see how Krishna is equal to everyone. Otherwise, it will mean that only certain class of people can worship Krishna. So Krishna closed this chapter by putting the devotee in different situations so that nobody can say that only certain class of people can worship Krishna. Everyone has right to worship Krishna. From one of the Puranas, Lord Jagannath has given blessing. Lord Jagannath himself gave blessing that in Kali Yuga, this fortunate Kali Yuga that we are in, the demons and the untouchables, they will have the opportunity, the right to serve the Krishna, to recite the scripture, to follow the most authentic and bona fide process of worshiping Krishna. This is Krishna consciousness, studying Bhagavad Gita, studying Bhagavatam. Not only that, they will become the teachers of these wonderful scriptures. While the Paramaham, the so-called Mayavedic philosophers and Saraswatis and Bharatis and the Mishras and the Bhattacharyas will never have access to this process. But the condemned people, socially speaking, they will become teachers, the bona fide teachers of the bona fide process society. And it is part of the blessing of Kartik. How wonderful this facility is. Kartik, yeah, so auspicious this month. So the challenges, the difficulties a devotee pass through, it is for us to appreciate the deeper level of Krishna consciousness, or to attract the costless ministry of Krishna, that unqualified people will become qualified, while the qualified people become unqualified. So Krishna made this arrangement for devotees. Otherwise, as Gurudev is saying, materially speaking, one would think, Krishna, you are unfair. How can you be so rich, so opulent? How can you be so opulent and the devotees are suffering like this? But when one look at it very carefully, we'll see that austerity is meant for purification. We don't hear, and we will never hear that in Goloka people perform austerity. Nobody performs austerity because there is no sin there to get purified from. Nobody is punished there. Every day is festival. Every day the spiritual world is festival. Festival is celebration. Constantly celebration. Madhu Mangala told Lord Krishna, my dear Lord Krishna, my dear Lord Krishna, why you don't have 365 sisters? We're supposed to have 365 sisters, so that every day we will have invitation to feast in their houses. Madhu Mangala said, yesterday was a Govardhan Puja. I didn't enjoy it like that. I didn't enjoy it. It is glorified Anakut, but I didn't see what is Anakut. I didn't see it. Today in your sister's house, I was Upananda's house. Upananda's daughter had to invite his brother's son. That celebration is after Govardhan Puja. So Upananda's daughter invited Krishna, Nanda Maharaj's son. So they invite each other for a feast. So Madhu Mangala said, this feast, this feast is superior to the Govardhan Puja feast. I didn't feel my belly. I was still very hungry, even though it was highly advertised. But today my belly is full. Therefore, Krishna, I'm praying that you should have 365 sisters, so that every day I will have feast like this. This is Krishna consciousness. You see, our society is full of festivals. Kartik, such a wonderful time. Such a wonderful time. A wonderful month. So we don't misunderstand what Krishna is doing and think, oh, I'm suffering. A devotee cannot suffer. Even if it's a standard sin, a devotee does not suffer. The perfect example is that Haridas Thakur never felt he was suffering. even when Haridas Thakur left after he was beaten and tortured and thrown to Ganga, when he came back, he told devotees, please, none of you should be disturbed. None of you should question Krishna for what happened to me. What happened to me is proper. Because when these people were blaspheming Krishna, I didn't say anything. I was hearing Krishna being blasphemed. I didn't do anything. So I was justly punished. You see, he didn't see his suffering. Look at the Pandavas. They didn't see their suffering. Look at all the pure devotees. They didn't see their suffering. Sanatana Goswami, 𝑭𝒐𝒍𝒍𝒐𝒘. They don't pray that Krishna will take away my sickness, my disease, or my poverty. They don't pray like that. Because they are enjoying that. In that condition, they are having intimate relationship with Krishna. Look at Raghunath Das Goswami. He does not eat, but he was having constipation. How will you have constipation without eating? Raghunath Das Goswami was not eating, so austere, but he was constipated because he was not eating our ordinary food. Why? He has a better food which he is eating, the better nectar which Srimati Rani is giving to him. So that constipated him. And that is the best constipation every one of us should desire and pray for. For us to get that, 𝐸𝐴𝐸𝐵 param jyotim bhagwantama 𝐁𝐡𝐚𝐤𝐵 sarvabhuta bhavasam vindate antisatuman. 𝐸𝐴𝐸𝐵 param jyotim, to realize Krishna either as Brahman, as Paramatma, or Bhagwan, austerity is compulsory. Now I am gradually appreciating how much tapasya positions one closer to an unconditional service platform. Yes, this should be understood so we can appreciate that. Without austerity, one cannot get sufficient purification. I'm also appreciating that austerities and suffering can increase one's quality of service and understanding. Yes, that brings purification. Austerity, the sacrifice, they purify us. But that purification will develop knowledge. With that knowledge, we will renounce. From that renunciation, we'll capture Lord Krishna eternally. Yes. That is why in the beginning, Lord Brahma was, after all, encouraged to undergo austerities to bring about the creation. Lord Shiva is in constant state of austere meditation on you. And these are our authorities. They are our authorities. Even if Brahma has to do austerity, Lord Shiva doesn't need austerity because he is not a jiva. He is not a conditioned soul. He doesn't need that. But he did to teach us, to encourage us, and let us see what is necessary, what is the process of being very, very close to the Krishna. To become very close to the Krishna, we have to pay the price. And that price is to make a sacrifice. What is the sacrifice? To reduce our bodily demands, our bodily necessity, suitably fit for receiving the mercy of Krishna. What is demarcating us from Krishna, from reality, is contamination from the sinful activities we're performing. So to get us purified, this austerity is required. It's for purification, proper mention. Austerity is to help purify the heart, because the heart is contaminated. I reflect that in true love, suffering or any austerity performed for the lover is not taken as an inconvenience, nor an imposition. One is eager to do whatever is necessary to enhance the welfare of the lover. Yes. That is a pleasure. When when a good person does something good for others, you feel very happy. Feel very happy, feel satisfied. One does not see it as punishment or suffering. One doesn't see it that way. Because the idea is to please the person whom we love. We want to see that the person is in a better situation, in a better position. We want to see that the person is very happy. We want to see that the person has no problem. Even if there is any difficulty, we want to see that we work it out and make the person free. This is love. This is love. And no one will consider that to be punishment. Only when there is no love that will find anything inconveniencing. When there is nothing which is tough. There's nothing which is difficult. Everything becomes very easy and simple. Yes. So our meditation after purification is what? Now, as I lie here waiting to sleep, my Lord, I am noticing how little love I have. This appreciation comes when we are getting purified from the austerity. I have little love for you. That is why I can feel inconvenience in anything that I have to do. After all, there is nothing any one of us here doing for Krishna. There is nothing which any one of us here is doing for Krishna. It is just that the Krishna and the pure devotees, they design a way to help us get purified. And they make it to look as if we are doing anything for them. So Krishna, Lord Brahma said, he is being fed with affection. Our service is on that platform? Most of us not. Our service is not on that platform. Therefore, what is it the service that we think we're doing? And if we are not doing that, what will we be doing? If you are not in Krishna consciousness today, trying to keep away from sinful activity, what will we be doing? We will simply be engaged in sinful activity. There's no alternative. Either one is in Krishna consciousness, or we are in demonic environment, demonic situation, where everything we do is sinful, everything we do is contaminated, everything we do is destructive, everything destructive. So Krishna consciousness is designed to help shape us and make us human beings. Therefore, regulative principles are there. These regulative principles help us to develop knowledge. Because during purification, then we can look into the reality. If I have possessed real love, I will be jumping at every opportunity to serve you, free of any envy and impersonalism. I know I am so far away from you, dear Lord, but in your pervasiveness, Krishna is all pervading. Yes. Krishna is all pervading. So sweet. Krishna is always available everywhere. Everywhere is Krishna. Everywhere. Krishna, he just give us just a glimpse, so we can at least from impersonalism enter into personalism. You see how Krishna is so wonderful. Even from impersonalism, we can from there enter into personalism if we take it very carefully. Krishna say, I'm the light of the sun, right? I'm the heat in the fire. I'm the strength of the strong. I'm the ability in man. I'm the taste in water. Prabhupada said, which is not common. Which is not common. Because it's karma. Prabhupada said, if you are taking wine, alcohol, and think, this taste is Krishna, you'll become Krishna conscious eventually. But not everybody will have the fortune to do that. Because when the person is intoxicated, you forget anything about Krishna. You don't think, oh, this taste is Krishna.
और भी सही है अपने पास.
Hare Krishna devotees, please mute your mic.
We will not have the fortune to remember. A person who have the fortune to remember, is great. That's great. This taste I'm getting from the alcohol, this taste is Krishna. This is Krishna. This is Krishna. You want thing like that, you become Krishna. from that. But it's not easy to have the fortune. But if one is fortunate to have that, it's great. You see how powerful Krishna is. And even from nothing, we can take to Krishna consciousness. That is how wonderful Krishna consciousness is, how merciful Lord Krishna is. That he is very eager to get us out. When we're suffering, we don't say how Krishna is very eager to get us out. But at least with this, you can understand how Krishna is very eager to get us out of our situation. Otherwise, when I'm practicing and but where is Krishna's mercy? Yes, I'm struggling, but my senses are not giving me a chance. I'm trying, but the senses are not giving me a chance. So where is Krishna's mercy here that you want me to come back? You want me to come back? Then check out this thing now. Make it now. What is difficult for you to do? There's nothing. Krishna just make it like this, and I'll be there. Yes, Krishna will make it like that. But Krishna also will consider, if you make it like that, how will we function there with all the contaminations? So all the contaminations have to get out first. And Krishna will do, yes, he will do like that. He will do like that at the brink. You can do that. But he didn't do that for Kshatranga Maharaj. He did that for Kshatranga Maharaj because he has the best, he has the qualification. Krishna can do that. Yes. So when one is getting purified, you will not see all these difficulties, all these challenges as something to fight about first. We'll see it as an opportunity. So one thing that is very deeply printed in my consciousness is the level of His Holiness Bhaktisiddhanta Maharaj's enthusiasm in his Krishna consciousness. From the first day I saw him to the last day he departed, I have never seen any moment where his enthusiasm goes down. Enthusiasm is always increasing. Always. That is very, very rare. I observed that in his life. Throughout. So enthusiastic in everything. Even when he has so many challenges, he will say the best and worst of times. He's always happy. The best and worst of time. One time in Nigeria, when he visited, there was so much preaching. He has the best of time. And then after that, there's so much attack on him. He said the worst of time. So he said the best and the worst of time. The worst and the best. He is always the same. Always the same. In the best and the worst of time, he is the same. That is Krishna consciousness. Enthusiasm he maintained. Sometimes I have become attracted to your different energies, momentarily forgetting that you are the source of all beauty and splendor. Is this distraction a sign of my lack of chastity? Yes, that is lack of chastity. Because if one is chaste, you will never have anything to look at or anything outside outside the Supreme Personality. We see everything as Krishna's energy. And we would not like to go for anything beyond himself. Because he is a source of all this. Why go for something less? That is what Gurudev said. I cannot settle for anything less than this. Nothing less than this. Nothing less. Nothing. Dear Lord, as I drift off to sleep, I am praying to dream of you. Yes, this is Krishna consciousness, being mindful Krishna consciousness. Mindful sleep. Mindful sleep means that we dream of Krishna. We are cooking for Krishna. We are doing arti for Krishna. We are offering Dhilam for Krishna. We are offering Dhilam for Krishna. Made of tulsi stick. Because we saw all these things in our scriptures. That is why we introduce it. So instead of using deer, use a tulsi stick to offer to Lord Krishna is more auspicious. From Padma Purana. From Padma Purana. Anyone who uses a tulsi wood, tulsi stick, as lamp for Lord Krishna, you would never drink the milk of a a material mother again for life. Never finish. Just to use this Tulsi stick. Anyone who put a Tulsi stick into cooking food for Krishna will never again come to this material world. And anyone who even participated in the jagya that the Tulsi sticks is used has all the blessings. There's no need for that person to do any jagya again. There's no need. There's no need. So we have introduced something auspicious for all of you, and you should take it very seriously. You should know that this thing is authentic from the scriptures, from Padma Purana. That is the benefit of reading our scriptures. So Krishna will reveal so many things and give us all the necessary technologies we need to become successful in Krishna. So we should read and hear every day. We are giving you all this thing because we are reading. You should read Krishna books. You should read every day. So you can get all this. So Krishna will show you. Krishna showed the thing as we desired it. Krishna will show you. As we desire, that is how Krishna will manifest in showing everything, reveal everything according to our desire. He's showing. So we got all this thing because we like to read, we want to understand Krishna. So Krishna supply all this thing by sharing. If you use a Tulsi stick, especially in this month, Kartik month, you have closed your opportunity, your chance of coming to the material. You have closed it up. It is sealed. And not come back here. You're going back to that abode of Krishna for eternity, not for some time, for eternity. So you should put effort in the lamp offering. You should put a lot of effort. You should concentrate. Don't just wave lamp. You should concentrate and doing it to the Supreme Person. And he recommends that if I do this consciously, you're going to take me back home, back to God. So let us put effort into it. Mindful Krishna consciousness, mindful sleep. We're going to dream about Krishna. We are doing arti, puja for Krishna in the dream. Mindful sleep. We are chanting Damodara Sakam in the dream, in mindful sleep. We are dancing kirtan in the sleep. That is mindful sleep. To have mindful sleep depends on how we live our day's activity. So Gurudev is praying, what to dream of Krishna. This is Krishna consciousness. Pushing away your physical body aside would eat envious and agitation. Material body, what is there? All agitation that is there. And envy. That's all. So in our sleep, while we practice all these things seriously in the daytime in the sleep, we put all these things aside, the physical body aside, and enter into a sweet, very sweet relationship with Krishna. As I sat in the three walls, seeking their company and the company of their servants, I am praying that they will let me join them, and that perhaps I will wake up one day a soul fully surrendered to you. Why not? It's our right to do that. And Krishna have the chance for us. So it is our chance to take advantage. Take advantage of the facility Krishna has given. I will look for signs of your devotees, even though when they see me, they will laugh in embarrassment. Look at this one. What is our qualification to be here? Well, our qualification is to have the desire to have the mercy of the pure devotees. If we have that, the pure devotees are very kind by nature, and their heart is always melting and compassionate. Advaita Acharya. So he's so compassionate, so merciful. All of them, so kind. They always look for us. Narada Muni, for him to deliver this Megari, the hunter, he has to be tied up to a tree. He allowed himself to be there, to be tied up. Because why is he taking all this? Just to deliver this dangerous hunter. He allowed himself to be, how do we call that? It's compassion. He has interest to deliver us. That is why they can undergo such a terrible situation. The money has mystic power to become, even if the mind ties him up. What will you use to tie him up? He's a perfect yogi. He can become smaller than the smallest and fly away. But the money stayed there waiting for this man to go and make his experiment and come back, just because you want to deliver him. You can see the extent our acharyas are so compassionate upon us. They're ready to take all kinds of risks just to help us. So we take advantage of what is given. I have heard that you are so kind that you look at the intentions of your servants and elevate a contaminated service to a transcendental level. You took Putana as a mother, and even though she came to poison you, you gave her liberation in exchange for a few drops of breast milk. From Garga Samhita, when Vamandev appeared before Bali Maharaj, some scriptures said she was Bali Maharaj's sister, and some said it's daughter. Some scriptures say it's a daughter, and some say it's a sister. Whatever it is, whatever she is, she was. So when she saw Vamandev so beautiful, immediately in her heart, she desired, oh, I wish I have a son like this. And Krishna is the supreme person of God. He is a super soul in the heart of everyone. So he could understood what is in mind. So this lady wants to have me as her son. Okay. But when after that, she's desiring, looking at the beauty, and becoming attracted. And then within another moment, in a few moments, she saw that her brother was arrested and treated like a crow. Oh, she became very angry. I will kill this boy. So she has two desires, and Krishna fulfilled the two desires. Krishna allowed her to offer her breast milk because she wanted to be a mother. So Krishna accepted. And then because she also wanted, she was angry and wanted to kill Krishna. So Krishna also allowed her to do the same thing. So he put poison on her breast to give to Krishna. So two things Krishna fulfilled both for her, and gave her the position to go to Goloka as Mother Yasoda's nurse, the housemaid, not on the same level on this Mother Yasoda, not on the same level. A nurse is considered also a mother, one of the 7 mothers. She's a nurse, but she's a servant to Yasoda Mai. So Krishna fulfilled her desire, both of them, the good and the bad. Krishna fulfilled all and gave her that position. So this is not a story, and Krishna can do the same thing with us. Krishna can do the same thing with us. He will liberate us. So we just continue to remain. We just continue to remain in our Krishna consciousness. Let us just try to remain in our Krishna consciousness in all circumstances. Let us try to remain in Krishna consciousness. Whatever contamination is there, if we remain, Krishna will find a way to help us as he did others. I can appreciate that austerities and detachment are necessary to help one rise above the 3 moods, becoming steady and not identifying with the happiness or distress or the other relativities of this world. I can become a true candidate for the spiritual world. In the past, dear Lord, bloated with greed, I have constantly missed a wonderful message that you constantly pour on your creation. How could I settle for a multitude of temporary pleasures? Please, the austerity is purifying. But now one can understand the reality that what we have been attached to, what we are thinking it is enjoyment, now we have come to see how it is not, but it is a punishment. Now we want the real thing. We want Krishna. We are praying and begging, please let me not have attraction for these things any longer. That means it should be replaced with the supreme thing. Now, my Lord Shamasunda, maybe tonight will allow me your direct association, habituated to avoiding you, tired of rendering service to my insatiable senses, only by your service to my unlimited costless grace will I get out of these ruts. Only by a costless mercy will I be able to overcome these ruts. Just as you overlook the real intention of Putana, you are so kind that you can overlook my contaminated state. Maybe tonight will be the night. Or if I go searching, knowing that one day I will meet you, although I am fully unworthy of your mercy. Please give me your mercy so that I can be also very happy in your devotional service. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Maharaj. Thank you for the very beautiful elaboration on this meditation. And there were so many points. I personally noted down so many points that I liked. And like devotees, like you mentioned, like devotees are put into tough situations because Krishna likes them to be glorified. So, and Srila Haridas Thakur, Pandavas, Srila Sanatan Goswami, and all the pure devotees, they would never question why I am suffering. They take it as Krishna's prasadam. So these 2 points were very dear to me. And also one more point you mentioned, that Krishna is so merciful that he gives us his glimpse so that we can enter into personalism from impersonalism.
Yes. Yeah.
Thank you so much, Maharaj, for this very wonderful class. And I would like to invite all the devotees now for the question and answers.
All right. Waiting for any questions or comments.
If devotees have any question, they may unmute their audio. And okay, so we see hands being raised. So first we have Shruti Mataji.
Hare Krishna Gurudev Dandat.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you for the wonderful class. Gurudev, Mulkajit Prabhuji has sent me his question. So I will just read it out. Maharaj, it happens most of the time that we stuck in the situation where people take undue advantage of humbleness, forgiveness, tolerance, and patience, and we can't and avoid them. How to work with them? How can we deal with the situation and how to respond in this?
First of all, we should we should know that humility is not foolishness. Humility and foolishness is different. They are different things. Humility is not naivety. It's completely different. I'm humble and someone wants to punch my eyes with a finger. I say, oh, I'm very humble, God. Now I can do it. That is not humility. That is not humility. I'm very humble. Someone have cheated me, and then I'm seeing the person next time. I would like the person to cheat me. That is humble. I'm very humble. No, that is not humility. See that Bhakti Saraswati Thakur, he explained what is humility. When one is bold, when one is bold to say the right thing when it is the right time, without looking at the faces, that is humility. One is humble, not to request or to demand for glorification. That is humility. That is humility. That's humility. So if I see that somebody is misunderstanding what is humility and is trying to cheat because the person thinks that the humility means the foolishness. People see like that. We should make it very clear. We should know that this is not humility. We shouldn't be like that. It's a proper was informed that somebody was using ISKCON, was making land worship. He was representing ISKCON. He's not a devotee. And he gave himself a Chuchananda. So the people were getting registered because it's ISKCON devotee, Chuchananda. So unfortunately for him, somebody from there, to consider himself a member, he visited the Mindful and he said he's a member. He's registered by one of their disciples. What is his name? Achutananda. Achutananda is here. Yeah, I've not been to Hyderabad. I've not been there. So they traced the person and arrested him. They traced the person and arrested him. His papa, they saw we are peaceful, humble people, so leave him. That is our karma. Prabhupada didn't say that. He was arrested. But when they brought him to Prabhupada, immediately the man said, Prabhupada, I have accepted you, I pure devotee, I have accepted you as my guru. From today, I'll not misbehave again. I'm your disciple. Please initiate me. Immediately, Prabhupada had already arranged for police people. But when this man said he has surrendered, Prabhupada said, oh, I cannot arrest him again. He's surrendered. He's a disciple now. So if police will say, see, Swamiji, this man is pretending he is not a disciple. Papa says, see, whatever it is, now he has surrendered. This is my disciple. So what should I do now? I have to accept him. But Prabhupada said, okay, you're my disciple, you have to stay here with us. For 2 weeks you should be here. 2 months after that, only months Prabhupada gave to him to be there. And devotees were watching him. And then one day they saw that he practiced, he wanted to run away. So he was caught and brought back to Prabhupada. The Prabhupada gave him to the police. He didn't allow him to misbehave in our name. Say his humility. So we should understand what is humility and act properly. All right?
Thank you, Gurudev.
Somebody will come and tell you lies and be very humble. Once we discover the person is cheating, it's a lie. The next time we see the person, we should be careful. Don't say we are humble and allow the person to cheat us again and again. The person will call us fools. So we have to react appropriately. And 𝐶𝐻𝑖𝑡𝑎 Mahaprabhu, who is a teacher of humility. The one on the Nityananda was attacked. What did he do? He raised to the sunshine. He wanted to kill the guy who hit Nityananda. He didn't say, oh, one chakal patrikascha. He didn't do that. He wanted to kill him. So we should learn from. Yes.
Sorry, I interrupted. Additional thing to in this, Gurudev, when we show our anger or when we react in such way, So that time we always come people tell us that oh, this is not the way. If you have accepted spirituality, you should react. So then, how to react or how to deal with
People say what?
that? This is not the way you should react when you have accepted spirituality. So this what you learn.
I just show you how Papa deal with this. Lot of time we deal with this situation.
Yes,
You have to read according to. So Papa did not allow him to go because they are humble. He didn't do that. Chitama didn't allow that person to disturb a devotee and say we are humble. He didn't that. Immediately he take action. So that we should do. So they use a very, very fancy word to intimidate you so that they can and feel, oh, we are humble. That is intimidation. And is a trick they want to use to push you away so they can justify their nonsense. So we should understand that and act properly. All right?
Yes, thank you, Gurudev.
Please. Next.
Yes, Maharaj. Next, we have Satish Prabhuji. So, Satish, could you...
Hare Krishna Maharaj, Dandavat Pranam. Please accept my humble obeisances.
Thank you, thank you.
Maharaj, my question is we have heard when we are in Krishna consciousness and when we follow the practice, then we elevated to the higher planet, the spiritual planets. But when I see around my in material world, there is so much suffering in this bodily, body. Like people suffer in their old age, and it's like I know these are the permanent problems like old age, death, and these things. But now we say when we are Krishna consciousness, we are elevated to higher planet. But when the people do sinful activities, they face it in the consequences in the next birth in this material life only, or it's there a different planet for that as well, or it's this planet only in Earth? I mean,
in all the material universes, is all meant for suffering. Not only in our Earth planet, other planets, they also have the same thing. In a very different way. Just like every country has a different way, different thing, but the suffering is always there. It's something which is prominent in all birth, death, old age, and disease. That is common for everybody, all conditions. It doesn't matter the universe or planet which we are. We'll experience the same thing. So as far as the material is concerned, right from Brahmaloka down, it's the same experience. The same experience. In a different level. For example, our suffering is according to the modes which governs us. So in the mode of ignorance, we suffer more. In the mode of passion, we suffer less. In goodness, is more or less. So whatever we are, we pay the price for our suffering until we are completely free and qualified to go back to God. Then we are free. Or when we transcend the mode of nature, then we are free. The suffering is no more. All right. Next question.
Maharaj, do we have time for one more question?
Yes.
So up next we have Aishwarya Prabhuji with his last question.
What is he?
Yes, Maharaj, I've asked him to unmute.
Hare Krishna.
Okay, thank you.
Hare Krishna, Srila Gurudev. Please accept my humble obeisances.
Thank you.
Gurudev, you had asked that I should not sleep before I complete my 16 rounds, and I try to follow this every day. And only last 1 year, 2 days I was not able to complete, but completed it next day. But I want to, I feel very bad after doing this. I'm missing my rounds, and I saw that there are few devotees, those who because of some reasons they miss their rounds and then they complete the next day. I understand that this is not a good practice, but if there is some genuine situation, in what kind of situation is it excused, or is it okay to have missed the rounds? That is my question.
His Holiness Radhana Maharaj, he was what, a good day for a month. 3 months, yes. He was working for 3 months. He was preparing to depart. At that time, good day, body, somebody already broken, like the collarbone, he's already broken. It's broken, so it's a serious pain. Serious pain. In fact, when His Holiness Kalcha Maharaj went to see him, he came back and told us that when he entered and he saw the big smile on Guruji's face, big smile, he was, he's free, he's okay now. So yeah, but after sitting for a few months, he noticed that the pain was excruciating. With that, he was smiling. In that condition, he was smiling and chanting. So His Holiness Radhana Maharaj told him, Maharaj, you have chanted. We have chanted. We have chanted. So can't you just stop now?
Hare Krishna, dear devotees. It seems there is some technical issue from Maharaj's end, so we are not able to hear him. We'll wait for some time so that Maharaj could connect back and we could receive his blessings again.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Maharaj, now we can see you and hear you again.
Sorry for the disconnection. I have to switch off to another network. Yes. So here, here we see someone who is just quitting the body, and in such a very painful situation. But he's chanting the 16 rounds. Even when his godbrother was requesting, now you can stop because we have chanted. And the situation like this is very difficult. His Holiness Bhakti 𝐶𝐻 Maharaj said, no, I took vow to chant 16 rounds. So I must chant. And he was chanting. And before that time, when the situation was already very, very heavy. He was on a wheelchair. So he visited one temple. Before he got there, one of his godbrother was there. And when he was asked to give the Sunday field lecture, he said he was tired. He had a long flight. He was tired. He wanted to rest. And just few minutes after the Gurudev arrived and they asked him to give the class, immediately he went to give the class. When his godbrother had that, he felt very sorry. And he said, here, a person is leaving the body. He's just about to leave the body. And he giving the class. And I'm complaining of tiredness. So is it a difference? Aishwarya Prabhu, you are there? Are you hearing me? Aishwarya Prabhu is there?
Hare Krishna Maharaj, yes,
Yes.
he is connected, Maharaj.
Yes,
Okay.
Maharaj.
Are you
Sorry.
hearing?
Yes, Maharaj.
You see the two situations here? He has no excuse for what he has to do in his spiritual life. Another person, there's excuse for our spiritual life. Everybody know what is the best. Out of the two, everybody know what is the best. But why can't all of us go for the best? So it depends on our interest in Christian consciousness. It depends on the level of our understanding about what is Christian consciousness. It depends on how much are we eager to perfect our life in Christian consciousness. He just mentioned of austerity. That one is ready to do whatever it takes to please the Lord so that we can achieve the goal. So it depends on us, how we look at it. If we are really, the point I want to make is that if we are actually devotees, we shouldn't have the reason why we should not chant this round. For any reason. We shouldn't have any reason why I should not chant this round. How genuine is our reason to compare the person who is just waiting to leave the body, chanting this round, and our condition is on that level?
No, Srila Gurudev.
So if our condition, at this time, we are like this, what will we be doing when we are at that stage? It is not difficult for a Christian conscious person to predict the future. It's not difficult. But what we are doing now, that's our future. We can immediately understand. This is how I'm going to be. So for me, we have different understanding. For me, I shouldn't have any reason why I shouldn't chant my 16 rounds. I should not have reason why I should not chant my 16 rounds. I shouldn't have any reason why I shouldn't chant 16 rounds. And I should not have. I should not. Better I don't sleep and chant my 16 rounds. Or I don't eat and chant my 16 rounds. Better. Yes, there was a question from Sanga Chunda before this one. Otherwise, Sati's hand is up.
Yes, Maharaj. We have one more question before Satish Prabhuji, which is an anonymous question, and it would be asked by Pragati Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Shri Gurudev. Dandavat.
Hare Krishna.
Shri Gurudev, in this meditation, we hear about the importance of austerity, how austerities are very purifying. So, just like we hear for brahmacharis, there are certain type of austerities recommended, and for similarly, what is it that is austerity for a woman? Considering the roles we have to be in, sometimes we consider bodily constraints and everything. So, what is austerity for a woman?
Austerity for a woman is to serve the husband who is a devotee. Very nice. Austerity for a woman. Serve the husband. So the husband is a devotee. Serve him without excuse. Very nice. So whatever the planet the husband is going, you will, even if you don't practice anything, you will pay. But that is different for a devotee, for a Hare Krishna devotee. For Hare Krishna devotee, the austerity is that you must chant your 16 rounds complete. You have to support the husband by keeping the home very nicely, so that they have also the chance to chant his own and read the scripture and guide you properly. That is your austerity, not a burden, but a support. That is your austerity. You take care of the children very nicely. That's your austerity. If you join your husband, some devotee have a god brother and have also a disciple. They got married. They said for 2 years we will live together as brother and sister. We are going to perform such and such austerity, but we will do this for 2 years before we can enter into the idea of bringing a child. It is not a standard for everyone. It is not a standard because it depends on who we are. Some say 1 year, some say 2 years, some say immediately we will go in for child procreation. It depends on us, but at least we should prepare ourselves for something. So austerity, so we'll do something. For purification. Either man or woman. You can decide we're going to do austerity. Yashoda Mai did austerity with her husband for 1 year. They did say brothers, for 1 year to go to get location as the child. They did. It's a woman. And Jaga sisters, they also did austerity to get Krishna to be their husband. They danced with Krishna Rasa dance. They did austerity. They commanded by Srimati Radharani. She was their guru. She taught them how they can do austerity to become dear to Krishna like herself. So it is left for us to decide what we should do. But all the chances there. Okay, for 1 year, I'm not going to eat in someone's house and was only eat in my house, or I cook in my house, and I will chant and such number of times for this period to prepare my consciousness, because we want to bring a God-conscious child. The Guru Dev said, don't bring any child less than Brahma in this our movement. So for me to do this, I have to prepare myself. Yes, let me get ready. You get it. All right? Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Shri Gurudev. Thank you so much for the answer.
Right.
Hare Krishna Maharaj.
Yes.
Okay, Maharaj. Yes, I just wanted to ask whether we could take one more question. Satish, could you unmute yourself?
Hare Krishna Maharaj, please accept my humble obeisances. Maharaj, just follow up to the 16 round questions that I recently started my 16 rounds, and I was a very lazy boy before joining the Krishna conscious movement. So I woke up around 10-11 a.m. in the morning, but now I'm waking up around 4 a.m. But the thing is, when I do 16 rounds, sometimes I fall asleep in between, and that is, I know, very bad. But how do I progress in that? That I should not, fall asleep in between, or miss, stop while chanting. So
Yes. You see, the body will react to whatever we do. The body must react. In all situations, in all circumstances, the body must react to something. If you start eating certain things, the body will react to adjust to it. And after some time, they become used to it. So we're working 11 o'clock, but now I have to start working 4 o'clock. It will show. You need to show anybody. So what to do is, for one to wake up 11 o'clock, that means that they're sleeping very late, very, very late. Now, if you want to wake up 4 o'clock, then you have to sleep early. You have to sleep early. Now you have to go to bed 9 o'clock. Or at most 10 o'clock you go to bed. So that when you wake by 4, you have 6 hours already. Even because the body is materialized, even if the body react to it. Yes, we also have to make effort. You have to make effort. If we sit down to chant, which is the best way, so we can have the concentration. But if the body is weak and is falling asleep, don't sit down. You stand up and walk around and chant. You see, Prabhupada do that every day, and that is what we have been doing for years. I don't sit down to chant because I know my body is weak. I sleep late. My body is weak. I don't want to sleep, so I stand up. I have to face the challenge. The Prabhupada say, taking to Krishna consciousness means we have declared war against man. So you're fighting with somebody, so you have to be prepared. Yes. So stand up. Even if you will feel sleepy, walk around. Just walk around and do japa. The best thing is that we should try to chant. That's all. Make effort to chant. The Krishna will help us. If you don't make effort, there's nothing so wonderful. So we have to make effort. Then the message of Krishna comes in, and we'll be happy. We'll be very happy at the end. Just see all the wonderful opportunity, all the benefits for this month, Kartik, offering lamb to Krishna. So beautiful, so wonderful opportunity. So nice. So we'll enjoy it. So we'll enjoy ourselves. One who happens to go to a place where Tulsi wood has been burnt will become purified of all sinful reactions. That Brahmin who is performing a fire sacrifice and places amongst the other wood, Tulsi wood, will get the result of one Agnihotra, Devya, fire sacrifice for each grain offered in that fire. Can you count it? Can you count that grains? That Brahmin who is performing a fire sacrifice and places amongst the other wood, Tulsi wood, will get the result of one Agnihotra sacrifice for each grain offered in that fire. That means each grain, they are performing one Agnihotra. So can we count? No. So just imagine. Just imagine our fortune. One who offers Lord Krishna incense made of Tulsi wood will get the same result of 100 fire sacrifices and of giving 100 cows in charity. One who cooks an offering for Lord Krishna on a fire which has Tulsi wood in it will attain the same benefit as one who gives in charity a hill of grains as large as Mount Meru for each grain of such an offering to Lord Krishna. One who lights up a lamp to be offered to Lord Krishna with a piece of Tulsi wood will attain the same benefit as one who offers 10 million lamps to Lord Krishna. Sri Karti Bharata ki jai. Sri Damodara Bharata ki jai. Damodara Mas ki jai. Radha Damodara ki jai. Yashoda Damodara ki jai. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Maharaj. Thank you so much for blessing us with your kind presence. And we are very grateful to have your presence and learn such wonderful points from you. We would be very eager to meet you next week again in the same session.
All right. We're very happy to be with all of you.
Thank you so much.
Hare
Maharaj.
Krishna. Srila
Srila Bhakti
Prabhupada.
Damodara Swami Maharaj ki jai.
Jai.
Srila Bhakti Swami Maharaj ki jai.
Jai.
Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Jai.
Jai.